Mm, our next topic is studies of vaccine safety, pharmacoepidemiological and risk management. Myself, Dr. K. Shivaya, Department of Pharmacology, Shantiram College of Pharmacy. So, if you take in the vaccine safety, so regarding this, these are the index of the vaccine safety measurements and how it is happen. Already the vaccine is a biological preparation. It contains killed microorganisms, so that improves your immunity to a particular disease. Vaccines are most cost effective and prevalent public health interventions. Morbidity mortality declined where immunization are practiced. So if immunization practiced, automatically the morbidity mortality declined. Vaccine safety is a prime. Is it safe or not? So here we can get public, manufacturer, immunization providers, recipients of vaccines. So there is no vaccine completely safe or completely effective, but some adverse events are prodigious. It's maybe minor, but some vaccines may be serious health effects. So as per our knowledge, as per the data and research, these effectiveness and adverse effects, to understand why we cannot understand properly, because inadequate understanding of biological mechanisms. So these killed microorganisms are weak biological preparation, so we can call a vaccine. When you give it to the body, we cannot understand the perfect mechanism how it is happening in the body. So inadequate, not perfect. We have, but few mechanism we cannot understand, and insufficient information from case reports and case series. So limitations of existing surveillance system to provide evidence of causation. So these how we can overcome these limitations: epidemiological studies, providing scientific methodology for assessing vaccine safety. So what is the importance of vaccine safety? Decrease in disease risks and increase attention on vaccine risk. So public confidence in vaccine safety is critical. So what is the public confidence in vaccine safety is critical? See, higher standard of safety. Vaccines are generally healthy. Lower risk tolerance. Need to search for a rare reaction. Vaccination is universally recommended and mandated. So that's why public confidence in vaccine safety is sometimes critical, because of these are all the reasons, because of vaccine is safe. But ongoing safety monitoring needed for the development of the some policies and recommendations. So two methods monitoring the vaccine, that is pre-licensure and post-licensure. So we can discuss step by step. Pre-licensure monitoring: vaccine, like other pharmaceutical products, undergo extensive vaccines like other any undergo extensive safety and efficacy evaluations in the laboratory. So these pre-licensure studies are carried out on animals and human beings. You know what is that already? So how clinical trials work. The pre-licensure human studies, after performing the animal studies, these vaccine, after performing the animal studies, we can perform these preclinical trials. So these these pre-licensure human studies in phase 1, maybe in this it's depending upon this, sometimes 100 members also involved in this case. So depending upon the molecule and formulation, so 15 to 30 members volunteers is there. In phase 2, so here started 20 to 150, so that's why I am telling. So here also sometimes 100 to 300 also is there. In phase 3, so here 1000 members, 100 to 1000. So that is the involved in the clinical trials. So if the vaccine is shown to be safe and effective in phase 3, the manufacturer applies for the license from the FDA. So phase 3, if it is over, that manufacturer can apply to the Food and Drug Administration for getting the license. The FDA license the vaccine itself and license the manufactured plant where the vaccine will be made. So the FDA licenses the vaccine itself and ekkadaithe chestunna akkada. So during the application, FDA reviews the clinical trials results, product labeling, the manufacturing plant, the manufacturing protocol, this entire reviewed by the Food and Drug Administration. Next come to the post license. After getting the license, what you have to monitor for the safety of license, what you have to monitor, identifies the rare reactions, monitor increases in known reactions, identify risk factors for reactions, identify vaccine lots with unusual rates or types of events, identify signals. So these are the post license and monitoring. So you know already the post like that post clinical trials. So phase 1 studies can be an FDA requirement for licensing. So it is required, but they can approve for the phase 4. So these trials includes the tens of thousands of volunteers and may address questions of long-term effectiveness and safety, examining unanswered questions identified in phase 3 clinical trials. So what purpose we are doing the phase 4? So whatever we didn't got unanswered questions in phase 3, we can get in phase 4 because of it is a long term and a number of people also more. So that we can get, then after that they can give the approval. So the manufacturer must submit the samples of each vaccine lot and the results of their own test for potency and purity to the FDA before releasing them for public use. So this is the whereas the meaning abbreviation is the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System is a national reporting system jointly administered jointly. So both, so what is that? Center for Disease Control and Prevention. CDC means here the Center for Disease Control, and P also will be there, control and prevention, with the Food and Drug Administration. They make jointly, they can document the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System. So VAERS was created in 1990 to unity the collection of the all reports of adverse events after vaccination. After vaccination, if the any adverse reported, we can make a issue by the both. So VAERS is a passing reporting system and accepts reports from the health professionals, vaccine manufacturers and general publics. So they can accept the either report from the professionals నుంచి కావచ్చు, వ్యాక్సిన్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చర్ నుంచి కావచ్చు, లేదా పబ్లిక్ నుంచి కావచ్చు. వాళ్ళు ఏవైనా కూడా మనం ఒక రిక్వెస్ట్ లెటర్ ఉంటుంది, ఆ రిక్వెస్ట్ లెటర్ పంపిస్తే దే కెన్ CDC and FDA they can see all the reports, they can make issue. So this is the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System. So this is the how it is a form, it will be there. Next, classification. So adverse event classification, adverse event vaccination following classified frequency. So vaccines sometimes very common, అంటే కొన్ని అలర్జీ కావచ్చు, ఇదర్ అలర్జీ రియాక్షన్స్, ఇట్ ఈస్ రేర్. Some local infections are not local damage or systemic damage. Either one thing it is happen, but it is not severe. It is a very rare members happen. Then after that we can observe the severity. That severity, it is during the hospitalization. So that patient compulsory to attend in the hospital, or disability. So the patient may be disabled to some few organs, or disabled to walk, and finally to death also. So due to because of that vaccine after admission, it is goes to the severity. So during the severity and causality and preventability. So some it is very rare that the symptoms it is common, but it is a preventability to intrinsic to vaccine, fault production or fault administration. It is these are it is happen due to faulty production or faulty administration. So these are the possibility of following adverse events classified. So after vaccination, how you can classify vaccine induced, vaccine potentiated, programmatic error, or coincidental. So we can see step by step. Some vaccines have risk that are common but mild. A few have more serious risk, but these are very rare. So what are that so common, more than one in, we have doubt. ఇక్కడ డౌట్ రావచ్చు. ఏవైతే చెప్పినానో ఇందాక ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ, కామన్, రేర్, దీంట్లో సో వాట్ ఎవర్ ద హ్యాపన్ దీస్ అడ్వర్స్ ఈవెంట్స్ ఓన్లీ, హౌ ఇట్ ఈస్. సో కామన్ అంటే వాట్ ఈస్ దట్, మోర్ దాన్ 1 in 100 doses, 100 dosesలో 1. సో దట్స్ వాట్ ఆర్ దట్ సిమ్టమ్స్ ఆల్సో. రెడ్నెస్, స్వెల్లింగ్, soreness at the site of the site and injection are common for many vaccines. So as are mild, sometimes mild fever, nausea, vomiting and diarrhea have been reported for few. This is less common. That is common. Next, less common, 1 in 100 to 1 in 10,000. So this is high. What is that the symptom? High fevers can occur in this range as in fever induced convulsions. So fever induced convulsions from vaccine such as that measles, mumps and rubella. So is less common. Very few members affected but less common. Okay, this is rare. 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 1 million. So preliminary data says that current rotavirus vaccine are associated with interception, so and enfolding of the bowel, so in about 1 in 10,000 first doses, but the overall risk is unclear. So here what we have to understand, very rare members. So what is the situation? It is happening in the rotavirus vaccine. In conclusive, so not enough data. It is happen, but there is no proper evidence. So Guillain-Barré syndrome is a paralytic disorder, has been associated with some seasonal influenza vaccines, but a causal link has not been firmly established. Serious disorders have been reported after other vaccinations, but many are so rare that determine the causality is difficult. So this is the meaning of these meanings. So calculating the risks, how you can calculate it is common, less common, rare and inconclusive. So after vaccination, so we have the 4 classified. So what is that vaccine induced? Due to intrinsic characteristic of the vaccine preparation, So these prodigious the events would not have occurred without vaccination. So suppose example, vaccine associated paralytic poliomyelitis after oral polio vaccine. So these vaccine itself to produce the paralytic poliomyelitis. Next, vaccine potentiated. So would have occurred anyway, but were precipitated by the vaccination. So here the vaccine is given potentially. So first febrile seizures in the predisposed child. So a child they can get this seizure if the vaccine is potentiated. Next, programmatic error. So due to technical errors in vaccine preparation, handling or administration. So the wrong preparation or wrong handling or wrong administration, you can get some errors. Coincidental. It's associated temporarily with vaccination by chance or due to underlying illness. అంటే కొన్ని వ్యాక్సిన్ వేసేటప్పుడు ఇంకో వ్యాక్సిన్ వేసేటప్పుడు కోఇన్సిడెంట్ కావడము, ఇంకో వ్యాక్సిన్ వేసినప్పుడు ఇంకో వ్యాక్సిన్ వేయడం. సో దిస్ ఇస్ కోఇన్సిడెంటల్లీ వీ కెన్ అబ్జర్వ్. These are the so how you, and also next we can found the methodologic problems. So methodologic problems ante during the analysis ante during the evaluation we can get some the problem signal detection. So where the problem it is happen, the detection we can make fault. Assessment of causality, the assess whatever you mentioned the in causality, the assessment is wrong. Exposure, where it is exposure, outcomes we can make faults. Analysis, finally analysis and confounding and bias. So these are the during the following methodological problems. These are all the safety evaluation parameters. Signal detection. So vaccines are biologic rather than the chemical in nature. So automatically you can get some adverse events by manufacturer or even lot might be expected. So surveillance system needed to be to detect such potential aberrations in the time manner. Many vaccines are administered to individuals simultaneously or as combination vaccine unless the number of persons who also receive that exact permutation of vaccine exposure known. It may be difficult to and not impossible to know if an aberration has occurred. So here the overall information is the detection of where it is a problem, either administration, either manufacturer, or a number of persons either taken or not, number of persons is received. So these are all the detection of problem, the signal also effect. Vaccine safety surveillance system. Examine multiple exposure, different vaccine antigens, manufacturers, lot numbers. The manufacturing, if it is differentiate sometimes maybe little bit defect and multiple diseases outcomes. So monitor both previously known and previously unknown adverse events. Assessment of causality. So vaccine specific clinical syndrome myopericarditis in healthy young adults. The smallpox vaccine must be identified for assessing any adverse event caused by vaccine. Information usual for assessing the causality in individual case report includes previous general experience with vaccine, duration of licensure or number of vaccines, and a number of vaccines, whether similar events have been observed among other vaccines or non-vaccines. So these mainly problems happen, mainly negligence and any alternative etiologies and individual characteristics of the vaccines that may increase the risk of the adverse event, and timing events depending upon time, characteristic of the event, re-challenge. So these are all అంటే ఈ characteristic of event during the laboratory. So during laboratory any findings, that time also we can make negligence. So the how to we can assessment this is a casualty exposure. So miscellaneous classification of exposure status occurs if there is a poor documentation of vaccination and increases the number of licensed vaccines, relative lack of combination vaccines, leads to vaccination history misclassifications. So misclassification of exposure, here the exposure means misclassification due to because of a poor documentation, that maybe that's how they are can increases the number of licensed vaccines or lack of combination vaccines. Next, outcome. Events being assessed are frequently extremely rare. The outcome of so for example encephalopathy, GVS, some are the diseases. So identify cases for interpretation of study findings is a major challenge, and many adverse events caused by vaccines are poorly defined clinical syndromes. It is the encephalopathy and this one. So the poor understanding and lack of diagnostic tools for these syndromes limits clinical and epidemiological studies of the licensing. Here the GBS means group B streptococcus vaccine related. So these the whatever the outcomes also we can get this some problems. Analysis and confounding and biases. Since vaccine can lead to a series of outcomes or cohort studies can be considered. So in these adverse events and percent time research evaluated. When outcomes are rare, these studies become time consuming and expensive. Case control studies are also carried out in case of rare adverse effects. Once a vaccine is licensed, it is unethical to withhold the vaccine in subsequent randomized trials as a means to minimize the confounding and bias. To minimize the recall bias, it is the best to rely on data sources that gather information on outcomes and vaccine exposure independently. Ad hoc epidemiological studies. Last class we discussed about ad hoc epidemiological studies. So from these also we can get some potential adverse events. We can cause by spontaneous reporting systems or medical literature, other mechanisms. So cohort case control studies used to gather information to measure or to compare risk of an adverse event following vaccination with the risk in the absence of vaccination. Automated nodes linked databases. Some automated provide a more cost effective and flexible framework, but ad hoc epidemiological studies are needed in settings without automated large linked databases, or where the power of the automated large linked databases may be inadequate to answer a question in a timely manner. So the vaccine safety data link is coordinated by Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So that is a vaccine safety data link VDC. So in 1990, Center for Disease Control and Prevention established the Vaccine Safety Data Link. Vaccine Safety Data Link project to improve the scientific understanding of vaccine safety. So to improve the what is the how the vaccine safety we can making. So this project involves a partnership with 10 large managed care organizations to monitor vaccine safety. So each participating organization gathers the data on vaccination, vaccine type, data vaccination, medical outcomes. So whatever we earlier studied, all the problems, so they can monitor. So the vaccine safety data link is how it is. Vaccine adverse event reported system. It is submitted to the vaccine safety data link or some other organization. This is another organization. So like this, they are always monitoring the again they can interlink one by one. So involves the partnership with the 10 large managed care organizations, link vaccine and health records, allow for planned immunization safety studies, and allow for investigations of hypotheses that arise from review of medical literature reports to various changes in immunization schedules or the introduction of new vaccines. So depending upon the monitoring of the vaccines, whether this vaccine is safe or not, then after that either it is required new vaccine or not, they can combine it together, discuss. So it is a vaccine safety data link they can maintain by the. So these are all coordinated by Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So what is the strength of this? Meets needs, scientifically rigorous safety data, relatively timely, efficient, access to fairly large population, infrastructure for the other studies, record incomplete weakness, record incomplete, retrospective in nature, delay in data availability. So the weakness is this, some because of they cannot get full record. So they are doing the retrospective again and again. So whatever the fast data and a delay in data availability. So in 2005, the Vaccine Safety Data Link project team launched an active surveillance system called Rapid Cycle Analysis. Its goal is to monitor adverse events following vaccination in near real time. So these rapid cycle analysis goal is to monitor adverse events following vaccination in near real time, so the public can be informed quickly of possible risks. So clinical immunization safety assessment network, CISA. So like this 10 organizations to monitor, they are already seen here, CISA. So the clinical immunization safety assessment to study the pathological basis of the adverse event following immunization using hypothesis driven protocols, to study the risk factors associated with developing an adverse event following immunization using hypothesis driven protocols including genetic host risk factors, to provide clinicians with evidence based guidelines when evaluating adverse events following immunization, to provide clinicians with the evidence based vaccines or revaccination guidelines, so to serve as the regional referral center to address complex vaccine safety inquiries. So these are all the clinical immunization safety assessment network. Sites Boston University Medical Center, Columbia University Medical Center, so where it is present, the CSA network sites, Johns Hopkins University, Northern California case in Penn and Stanford University, Vanderbilt University. These are all CAG networks sites. And vaccine analytic unit. So the VA is a collaborative vaccine safety research infrastructure between the Department of Defense and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention with input from the FDA. So these are all three departments. So they can act as a vaccine analytic unit. So they can monitor the vaccine safety measurements. And CDC established the vaccine analytic unit. So CDC only, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, established the vaccine analytic unit in 2003. The vaccine analytic unit complements the other critical CDC vaccine safety surveillance systems. So what are the surveillance systems? Vaccine adverse event reporting system, vaccine safety data link, and other. So current projects focus on specific vaccines, these are, and specific potential, and some nowadays coronavirus also. So these are all to monitor the vaccine. So suppose if you take in a coronavirus vaccine, they are, so the CDC also, so to monitor the effects of that vaccine, they first, so they are now in preclinical only, maybe phase 1 only, phase 2, these two are going on in the coronavirus. So the immunization provides a role. Immunization provider also provider in helping ensure the safety and efficacy of the vaccine through proper vaccine storage, whatever the who is providing the manufacturer, nothing but vaccine storage and handling important, either manufacturing or drugstore, vaccine administration, timing and spacing of vaccine doses, observation of precautions and contraindications during the vaccination, management of vaccine side effects, reporting of suspected side effects, communication about vaccine benefits and risks. So these are all information. So this is regarding about vaccine safety, how to measure, how to take precautions, and thank you one and all. If you watch video and make a comment after uploading YouTube, that comment you mention your roll number, then only I can give attendance. Thank you.